Let's take a look at the 6'8", 25-year-old on a two-way contract for the Detroit Pistons, Braxton Key. We're going to start off with his three-point shooting, something he did not do well in college, something he did not do well in his first G League season, but last season saw a major jump. In Summer League, he was 6 of 17, 35%, so there have been some stretches where he has shot it well. And if he is able to do this, catch and knock down open three-point shots, that would really provide a lot of value and really enhance his chances of carving out a role in the NBA. Even here in the mid-range, able to back the bigger defender up just a little bit and then knock that down. Now, the problem with Key is it just hasn't been consistent. Even in his limited amount of games last season in the NBA, he did not shoot it well. So while he shot it well in G League season, he did not shoot it well in his NBA time. And you see here, he's on the weak side, gets this kick out pass, not able to knock that shot down. So no matter what else he does really well, which there are some things, if he's not able to do that, it really limits his role on an NBA floor. Even things like this, I think he does a great job with his shot fake, and even though his numbers from three aren't great, he gets guys to go for it a lot. Gets a wide open mid-range there, not able to knock it down. So a consistent jump shot for Braxton Key would be huge. But let's stay with that shot fake and catch and drive. So here again, he gets a guy to close out hard. He's going to attack that closeout, get into the lane, and get to the free throw line. He got to the free throw line 18 times in Summer League and was 13 of 18, 72%. Here they're going to run a little set for him. So we saw Braxton Key play at the 3, 4, and 5 during Summer League. So here he's going to get this little on big screen, attack the basket, and a right-left Euro, and finishes with his left hand. So he can do some things, not in isolation, we'll talk about that in a second, but he can do some things off the bounce. Again, gets a hard closeout, drives in, forces help, collapses the defense, and then is patient, finds a cutting Isaiah Livers for a layup. I do have some questions about his passing. Sometimes we see really good flashes like there and even on this one. So here he's playing as the 5 in this lineup later in Summer League. They're going to run a little ISO for him. Just puts the ball on the deck one time, makes the beautiful pass to the weak side. Nice, easy play for Braxton Key. So I really like when he's doing that. I'll show the question marks with his passing here in just a second. And then I do think he's a good off-ball cutter. So if we go back on this one, you see him cut in from the weak side, catch, under control, makes a nice pass to Isaiah Stewart for the dunk. So here you see all the other little things he can provide. Jalen Duren in the post, attacks middle. Key's man has committed, turned his head, so he goes backdoor along the baseline, able to catch and finish. These are the little things a guy in Braxton Key's role can provide to an NBA team. And then looking at the things he doesn't do very well, he's not going to be an isolation guy. So you see him turn the ball over in these situations. Again, not something you're probably going to ask him to do, but I did just want to highlight these aren't things he's very good at all. Again, you see him even kind of in a DHO there, tries to isolate a little bit, loses the ball. But the ones that concern me more coming out of Summer League that I do think could limit him being able to play in a pinch in the NBA are these type of turnovers. Like these are just simple plays, reversing the ball, turns it over right there, throws it right to the defender. Another one in transition, just throwing the ball cross court to Jaden Ivey here, ends up in a turnover, doesn't see the defender. He had 15 turnovers. He did play in all 5 games. He had the most minutes played in Summer League for the Pistons, but he had 15 turnovers in those minutes. Some were trying to do things that he wouldn't be asked to do, but some were plays he would have to be able to make on an NBA floor, or if he's going to carve out a role on an NBA team, it's simply mistakes that he cannot be making for that role. As we transition to the defensive side of the ball, I think on ball he gives great effort. There are some really good possessions, which I'll show, but when he starts to get beat just a little bit, the offensive player is often able to just sneak by. He gets his feet stuck just a little bit, and this happened over and over in Summer League. So again, initially does a great job staying in front, and then he gets just a little bit high, not able to move those feet just enough, and the offensive player is able to slide by, get to the basket, and get a bucket. There's 2 examples there. Here comes another one on a switch. Again, initially, when he's able to keep his shoulder square, his hip square, he does a really good job. But as soon as the offensive player creates a little bit of advantage, he's just not able to keep sliding those feet. And then he just doesn't have the recovery ability, the length to go and contest and block those shots. We're going to see one more against a bigger player, Kendall Brown, a rookie. And he's going to be able to just slide by, and then Key just doesn't have that length to block the shot. So not a huge thing. I don't don't think it's something that's just a major negative, but I did want to highlight it just a little bit. Of course, there were possessions where he played really good. So here, forces a contested shot. What I love on this one is he comes down with the rebound, and then look how he immediately gets his eyes up, throws the ball ahead, and gets the offense out in transition. Again, I think he's a guy offensively that can just be kind of a connector. He can do those little things that keeps an offense flowing, whether it's with the Pistons or where a lot of his time will be played with the Motor City Cruise. And then one more here, you see him playing as the 5. So we talk about position versatility. Again, a guy that brings great value for an organization, no matter whether he's playing in the NBA or the G League. So he starts out guarding the 5. Now he's going to be switchable. And you're going to see when he's able to keep his hips and his shoulders square on the offensive player, he does a really good job and then actually forces the turnover. And that's something we saw over and over in Summer League. Here on the ball, anticipates, forces a turnover on that one. He had 10 steals in Summer League, and those last 2 clips probably didn't even go in the box score as steals for him. So you can see his disruption may even go beyond what the numbers showed. But where I think Braxton Key was really good was off the ball. And again, this is where he can provide value to a team, whether it's in the G League or the Pistons in the NBA if he had to play in a pinch. Here first, just getting through screens. I really love what he does here right at the end. Watch how he just kind of ducks and able to avoid that screen right there from the big and stay engaged off the ball, not give up an open look there. Here he's playing as the low man on the weak side. We're going to see him block a shot later, but here he comes over and does the scram switch to get a better matchup on the post player on the block where he can hold up better than Amude would have been able to. And then right here, this is Jalen Duren's man on the ball screen. So he's rolling as Duren had to help. And you're going to see Braxton Key come over, make a rotation. I would have liked a little bit more of a physical box out, but he gets his body between the offensive player and the basket, doesn't give up an offensive rebound there. On a baseline out of bounds, he's going to communicate with Isaiah Livers, sees this switch, and then that puts him in great position to be aggressive and get the steal. Again, some defensive disruption from him, whether it's on ball or off. Here we're going to see him play as the low man. I mentioned this earlier, so we saw the scram switch earlier. Here he's going to come across, time it up, and he does get a block. So 10 steals, 4 blocks in his 5 Summer League games. So definitely a guy, because of his awareness, because of his defensive IQ off the ball, allows him to be disruptive and create some things offensively for his team, like he does here going in transition, throws a nice lob to Jaden Ivey for the alley-oop. So Braxton Key, while a guy who doesn't provide great upside, who may never carve out a role in the NBA, does provide value to an NBA organization with the way he plays, whether that's in the G League, playing the game the right way offensively and defensively, allowing those young guys around him to develop, or even on an NBA floor if he was a guy that had to play some minutes in a pinch based off injuries or just a limited roster. So on a two-way for the Detroit Pistons, I don't think that that's bad value, even if maybe you think a guy with more upside would be a better use for that spot.